The first song on the part 2 of the album is called All Rise. It's an up-tempo tune. There's quite a lot of songs in the early blues canon that are from the point of view of the defendant in court, pleading with the judge to be lenient with him or let him off a crime he committed or didn't commit. And I'm guessing that if you were required on some kind of judgment day to justify your life to some kind of judge, most people would say, well, I've done a few things I shouldn't have done, but by and large, I've been an okay person. And in most cases, that might well be true. But I guess the same thing would also be said by some truly horrible people who've done terrible things all their lives. Who knows?
Hey there, Judge, I ain't done no harm. I'm not deserving of the county farm.
Hard life is about the times when people tell you that they have a hard life, and that may well be. But a lot of people that really have hard lives tend to look for the best in them and maybe not talk about it a great deal. And there are people out there who think that life happens to them, that other people happen to them. And they don't realise that they also happen to other people. And they may be the cause of someone else saying they have a hard life.
What did I do wrong? What's my sin? I ain't done a single thing, but oh my Lord, it's a hard life.
Doing Time is a prison song. At least it's modelled on the old prison songs that were recorded as field recordings by the Lomaxes, for example, back in the 1930s, 40s. And it uses a lot of the imagery of prison songs, but what I'm saying in it is that you can feel like you're in prison, you can feel incarcerated in your life in some way because of some fatal error you made or just some piece of bad luck. You don't actually have to be in prison to feel like you're in one.
I've been breaking up rocks in the heat, bringing the hammer down on the beat.
The song Go Nice was inspired by the great Reverend Gary Davis, virtuoso, gospel, blues, ragtime artist. And he had a very difficult life. He was blind, he was dirt poor throughout his life. And he said despite that, his kind of watchword, his motto in life was that he always tried to go nice, by which he meant behave decently towards other people. And that's what the song is about, Go Nice. It's saying whatever your life is like, good, bad or indifferent, you could do a lot worse than follow the words of the Reverend Gary.
Go nice if you can. Go nice like the candy man. Gentle breeze.
Curl your toes, as in the expression make your toes curl, is about some of the kind of humiliations and dilemmas you might face as you go along in life, and you might have experienced the ones described in the song. And it sets out the kind of choices that you can make, and it's really saying to you that the choices you make say an awful lot about the kind of person that you are.
You can love somebody who doesn't love you. The other way round, well, that's possible too.
A woman friend of mine once told me about this phenomenon whereby a person might know the very worst thing they could possibly say in a relationship that's otherwise going perfectly well. And yet they couldn't stop themselves from saying it with predictable consequences. When this happened to her once, I asked her what had happened, and she said, "I think I let the crazy out the bag too soon." Doesn't seem to me like a terribly good idea if you can possibly avoid it. It might be familiar to people on both sides of it. The song is called Don't Let the Crazy Out the Bag Too Soon. Strikes me as decent advice.
Makes you
song Restless Mind is about being an independent thinker, thinking for yourself. Quite difficult in this day and age of conformity, tribalism and following convention, whatever the convention is. But I think through all of time, some of the greatest good has been done by people who were independent thinkers and who could act on what they could see in front of them that was wrong and try and do something about it. And I guess if you have that kind of restless mind, it can get you into a world of trouble as well. But if you're that kind of person, that's what you are.
You can't help it, it's in your bones. You're gonna be in a bind, and trouble's what you'll find with a restless mind.
Lowlife Avenue is about what can happen if you follow your dream and go for it. All these things that people are often encouraged to do, and it's a bit of a warning as to what can happen as you pursue that dream and where you can wind up that you'd rather not be. But the song is still encouraging you to carry on with it and keep going.
It gets scary down on Lowlife Avenue.
Fox Chase is a song about picking yourself up and getting back into the fray, looking back on what's led up to this and deciding to start again, and looking at life as a bit of a fox chase in which there are the pursuers and the pursued. And of course, if life is a fox chase, it's a pretty good idea not to be the fox. But it's worth remembering too that the fox does get away sometimes.
People, how they come and go, but I don't know, oh I don't know, reaching for the bottom of your...
By the Side of the Road is a song of self-doubt. Lots of people don't seem to have self-doubt, but I'm not one of them, and you might not be either. And sometimes you look back and you think you did get some things wrong, and you did make some mistakes along the way. And the song is basically saying, okay, plenty of that's happened, but you can pick yourself up. You don't need to beat yourself up. And so part 2 of the album ends with this upbeat message of self-doubt.
Just to keep some dignity, doesn't matter now. Let the ill winds blow and take some rest by the side of the